Hello everyone, my name is James Wilborn and I want to introduce to you Kahoot. It is a Web 2.0 tool that teachers can use to assess their children in the classroom in a fun way. So in order to even start Kahoot, you first have to create an account. So what you would do is come down to the purple link at the bottom and you would click on it, and then it's going to ask you to select the role that you play, and you have your options here. So I'll just click on teacher. You have the option of putting in the school or university that you work at. Then number two, you have to create a username and then a valid email address, confirm it, and then create a password that you can remember. And then you click create account. I already have an account, so I'm going to go ahead and sign in. So once you click sign in right here, it will prompt you to this page right here. Put mine in. And once I sign in, you'll see this page. There are three main things you can do with Kahoot. We have the quiz, discussion, and survey. And with the quiz, that's the most popular one, especially with my students. They love this one. This is the one where they can play, they have a competition to see who has the most points at the end of the game. So if you want to create a quiz, you just click on quiz. And then it's prompting you to give your quiz a title. So for this sake, I'm going to create a quiz on identifying nouns. And then you click go. Now you have to put in your questions. So I'm going to go ahead and just create a quick question. Which word below is a noun? And then what you'll see over here on the right hand side is the number 68. That's how many characters you have left to type in your questions. So you want to make sure that your questions or statements are short and sweet to the point. You want to keep this option on points question so students can earn more points. And you also want to think about your time limit. You can start at 5 seconds all the way up to 120 seconds. If it's a new content, I would give more time, but if it's something you've done before, you can give less time. So let's keep it at 30 seconds. You can also drag and drop in an image that you have saved on your computer for any questions. You don't have to do it for every question, but if you want to add an image, you can. And then down here is where you put in your answer choices. You have only 4 answer choices, no more than that. You can take away answer choices if you want to, or you can add answer choices. So with that being said, I'm going to take away 2 of the answer choices. So now I'm down to 2. And now I'm going to put in teacher and like. Then what you have to do, you have to choose one of the answers to be correct. So in some cases, you may have answers that are both correct, or all 4 answers could be correct. But you want to have at least one. So I'm going to choose teacher, and then I can duplicate the question if I like to. I can add a question, or I can even stop right here and move on with creating the rest of the quiz. But I want to add one more question. So once I do that, now it's question number 2. So I'm going to add in this. What is the noun in the sentence? And then I'm going to type in the sentence. My ball is red. And you see I have 43 characters left. Still on points and questions. I can change my time limit. Going to give 30 seconds. Remember, I can add a picture if I would like to. I don't have to. And have 4 answer choices. So I'm going to leave it at 4. And I'm going to type in different answer choices. So here I already selected my correct answer, and I have 2 questions. So you can make your quiz as long or as short as you would like. Now I'm going to go ahead and continue on with the quiz. I'm done with the questions, I'm done with the answers. I'm going to move on with the quiz. So I'm going to save and continue. Now I will see how to reorder my questions if I want number 1 to be number 2, or if I want number 2 to be number 1. And then you just click on save and continue. Here they want you to tell a little bit more about your quiz before they make it active for your students to participate. You want to make sure that you have the right language. Your privacy settings, I would keep it public because you may want to share your Kahoot with a fellow colleague that has a Kahoot account as well. And then your primary audience, you could choose from these. They really want you to select one of these options, so I keep it at school. In your description, you don't have to put a description, but it would be nice to put one in about what your quiz is all about, because someone else, now that it's public, somebody else may want to use it in their school setting, and they may want to read what it's about. And then your difficulty level, you can leave it at intermediate, go all the way down to beginner, all the way up to advanced. And then tags. Some people may be looking for your quiz, so you want to give them some tags. I'll just do nouns, and I'll just do nouns. So then we click save and continue. And then it's asking if you want to give your quiz. When they find your quiz, do you want them to see a picture of your quiz? You don't necessarily have to do that either. Then you click done. So now you're ready to do your quiz with your students. So if you do play now, this is what you and your class will see. It'll say launch, and then you also have some options down here. You want to keep the game pin showing throughout the game in case you have a student that's late or went to the bathroom and is coming back and their technology device closed out on them or knocked them off, because you were dealing with a wireless device or even with an internet device. Things happen. So you might want to keep that game pin showing throughout the game. You can also, there are other options that you may want to do. And then when you're ready, you just click on launch. So then you'll see all the different devices they can use. They can use all of those devices. And then you hear the music. You don't have to. I'm going to turn it down for this sake so that you can hear me. And then you have your PIN number that the students need to have. So they need to join Kahoot.it. And when they do that, they have to put in the PIN number. So if you see right here, I'm using my phone, and then they have to put in Kahoot.it, and they have to put in the PIN number. And now also, I'm going to use my other laptop so that you can see the 2 different devices. So I'm going to go ahead and put in those PIN numbers. So you type them in. Once you do that, they're going to ask you for a nickname. So the kids really like this part. They could give themselves all kinds of nicknames, or they could just put their regular name. I'm just going to put my regular name. Once I do that, you'll see that I have joined the game. And then on my other device, I've put in Nick. So then once all your players are in, you can start now. So then they get ready. It says, which word below is a noun? So this is what the kids see. But then also this is what they see on their device. On their device, they will see just 2 answer choices, okay? And they have to look at the screen, and then they also have to look at their device to find out which answer they want to choose. So the faster they go, the more points that they receive. And then once you pick, then you'll hear a little bong sound and let you know that the question is, time is up, or the question is up, everybody's answered. And then you'll see that one person answered correctly, one did not. So then you click next, and then you'll see that Nick answered correctly. He got 633 points. And James missed it and didn't get any. As you see, the game pin is still down there. So then we do the next one. What is the name? What is the noun in this sentence? My ball is red. So then they got all these different choices. So they look at their screen and they see those choices. So they have to decide what's the correct answer. And then you see there's a timer on the side, and you see all the players that chose, and then you see who has the correct answer. So one person answered correctly, one did not. And you click next, and you see that James now has the lead. Even though he missed one, he answered quicker, so that's the key. You want to answer quicker, but also correctly. So then when it's over, what you'll see is they'll give a little shout out to the winner, show what happened, how many correct, how many incorrect. And then the cool part about Kahoot, I believe, is this part, because now the teachers are seeing what the kids feel about this quiz. They get to rate it, so they could give it 5 stars if they really liked it. They can also answer if they thought they learned something, and then they can also talk about if they would recommend this to anybody. And then they can also give faces. They liked it, kind of liked it, or did not like it at all. So there you have it. And then you see the final results. So that's a good way for the teacher to see if the kids really enjoyed it, and if not, they can look at that and go back through it and find out what they can do better. And there you have it. And you can also download the results and keep for your own personal records as well, to share in parent conference meetings and things like that. So hopefully you enjoyed this video of how to use Kahoot with your students. Goodbye.